Hi, I'm Jai, and this is my assistant Ingrid, and this is the first episode of What You Do. We're here because people want to make bread. We all like bread. I like bread. I make bread. We're going to make bread together. But before we make bread together, we have to make sourdough starter. And that's not hard. You can make it yourself if you want. Now I can share some of mine. I think we can do that. Depending on how many folks need it. Let me know. But if I run out, or if there's too many people, or if I'm not taking any more requests, you can make your own really easily. All you gotta do is get yourself a small bag of rye flour. This is Great River rye. You don't need to get a big bag like that. You can just get the little, 2-pound bag or 1-pound bag. You don't need a whole lot, especially in the beginning. So, what you do when you're making sourdough starter is I take a little scoop each day, every morning, and I get about 1/3 of a cup of rye flour. And I use rye flour because I tried making sourdough starter from scratch using white flour, bleach flour. It just didn't really work. Something about rye flour has better. The yeast is already in the flour. We're using the natural yeast, and we're gonna grow yeast is what we're doing. We're growing a culture. So you start with about 1/3 cup of rye flour, and then get your spoon, and you start adding some water to it. So come over here. I'm gonna be making some paste, okay? Just put a little splash in there first. Alright? And I start mixing it up. I want to see what it's going to do. Alright. That's just a little bit. Not too much. Make sure it's good and stirred up. Real good. Alright. So, I added just enough water, but this doesn't seem to be enough. When you're starting out, maybe you want more than 1/3. I use 1/3 of the cup on the next day. So we'll do 2/3 of the cup this time. So 1 more scoop. Or if you want to just do a whole cup the first time, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Alright, so I add more flour, a little bit more starter in here. But now I gotta add more water. So I just add a little splash to it each time. You don't want it to be too wet. If it gets too wet, you gotta add more flour. You want it to be a not too thick paste. There, okay. Alright. Just so you see, this is kind of what it's like, okay? It's just a little bit of a runny paste. Okay. Alright, so that's what you do, and you leave it on your counter in a kind of warm place, not too hot, not too cold, and you leave it there overnight. The next day, you do what I'm doing now with my regular starter. This is the starter I made about 2 months ago. Ooh, that's real sour now. You can really smell it. Whew. Okay, so what'll happen is tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go check your starter. It'll have a little bit of bubbles, maybe some bubbles in it, maybe none at all right away, because it's just brand new baby starter, just getting started. Well, what you'll do is you'll take a jar, another jar, this one here, I got out of my refrigerator. And I take the starter from the counter, this is the stuff that was out overnight, and I scoop out about 2 big scoops of it. Okay? Just so I have a little bit left, maybe just about 1/4 of what was in there left. Alright. Good stuff. Okay. So you can kind of see I took most of it out there, okay? But now add more flour. One more scoop, 1/3 of a cup. And again, I get my spoon and I go to the sink and add a splash of water. Okay. Now that's a little too thick. I got to add a little more water. Okay, so this is what you do on day 2. And you take the jar right here, the one that I put the stuff in, and I put it back in the fridge because I'm going to use this to cook with later. Alright. And now this is like, you know, day 2. You just dumped out most of your starter, you added some more flour and water, you mixed it up with a little nice paste, you know, it's in there. And then you just take this lid, just set it on there again, and set it over on the counter, and you wait. Okay. So how long do you do that for? Well, you're going to do that every day you want to have starter. You feed it a little bit every morning or afternoon, sometime during the day. If you go 2 days without feeding it, it's not going to be doing so well. If you go 5 days without feeding it, it'll probably die. So you got to keep feeding it every day, a little bit every day. For the first week, you're going to be doing this, and you won't see much bubbles the first day. You do it again the next day. You start seeing some bubbles. The 3rd day, the 4th day, maybe you see a lot more bubbles. Pretty soon, the 6th day, you smell it. You'll smell it's kind of sour. And you'll see lots of bubbles. Every morning, you come in there and fill it up. By that afternoon, you'll see all of these bubbles. That means you have a good, functional, active sourdough starter. So get your flour, get a jar. You don't have to use nice fancy jars, just something with a little cover on it that allows gas to escape. Make your starter, and we'll see you in about 10 days, and we're going to make beautiful, large, homemade black bread. Okay? So, this has been our very first episode. I'm Jai. This is my assistant, Ingrid, and this has been What You Do.